Wow, outrageous. Oh my goodness, the blockchain ETFs, Bitcoin, a new all-time high. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Outrageous day. Amplify transformational data sharing ETF. The stock market's going to open up here in about 5 minutes or less, about 3 minutes, okay. And one of my Bitcoin ETFs that I own, which is the blockchain ETF, let's say BTCUSD, which I've talked about, and then block, BLOK, both of these are the BTCUSD, the Amplify, the Global X blockchain ETF is up about 5% this morning in pre-market, pumping huge. Companies like Coinbase, etc. My goodness. And then also block, BLOK. So when the stock market opens up this morning here in a few minutes, I'm going to square off some profits in this. I'm up about 9% in block, BLOK. So it's part of my synthetic Bitcoin mining rig that I invented about 3 years ago. It's outrageous. Now yesterday I squared off some profits and this morning in Bitcoin. Bitcoin had pumped to the pivot points for me as high as 98,000, about 400. And with that, so I was put limit GTC orders in effect, and they were filled, and so I was able to sell some Bitcoin also too. In my Momo swing account, my Bitcoin position, the average cost is 84,745, and this morning Bitcoin was as high as, like I said, 98,400. So that's like 14,000 point swing profit. So I'll continue to DCA Bitcoin today, but got a lot of exciting news. Hey, do me a favor, give my videos a like and a share. Let's get the word out. My channel is getting a lot of traction. Got a lot of new subs. Want to welcome you. I have been on YouTube, with Google and everything since 2017. So my channel is really starting to get a lot of things. And, I've been a stockholder in Google forever too. So Google stock is doing great. Let's take a look at it real quick here. S&P futures are up this morning. My S&P 500 ETF is up. Alphabet A. Wow, let's see, Google. How's Google doing this morning? It was on the dippy dip. I bought some Google yesterday. Google's doing great. It was up this morning to about 975.97. So Google's doing awesome. NVIDIA, we had NVIDIA earnings. So exciting times, So, it's just incredible. The stock market's going to open here in about 1 minute. Okay, it's just opened. Okay, BTCUSD, the blockchain ETF, it pumped. Oh my goodness, up about 5.5%. It just opened. Stocks are pumping. The S&P 500's up. Block, BLOK. So I'm going to sell some of it live here on camera. So I'm going to square off. I got about 11. It actually opened up about 11%. I'm not going to sell my entire position. Now the all-time high is 50.72. And the Amplify Transformational Data ETF block, it just broke out. So I'm in a conundrum with it because it's a breakout, and I'm hugely profitable in the trade. So I usually like to do the breakout. So I'm like, I don't know what, I'm almost like torn. Like, what do I do? Do I sit tight and just keep adding to it and let it pump, or do I take some of the profits out of it? So I'm going to do a little bit of both today. I'll square the profit off in block, BLOK, and then I'll continue to dollar cost average it. So I'm like, I got both sides of the trades going on that are profitable. So with that, I'm going to do a live trade here on block, on the breakout. I'll sell the breakout a bit, and then I'll still continue to hold a position, but I'm just going to take some profits out of it. It feels good to book some real good profit in a market. So stay with me though, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, informational purposes only. I'm an entertainer. So I'm going to let's sell my profit amount out of block. Okay, let's see. All right, we just placed that trade, okay, on the breakout, did real well with it, sold some block BLOK at 50.78 on the breakout. I haven't sold the entire position, but it was nice to book that profit. So, man, and we got BTCUSD breaking out to the upside. Huge profit in it. The all-time high for it, I guess, for the last 52 weeks is $74. Today it's at 69.86. I'll dollar cost average it today. It returned to profitability for you. My synthetic Bitcoin mining rig has produced in the last 17 weeks in excess of 80,000 points of trading profit in Bitcoin. So it's exciting times. The altcoin season has started. So with that, hey, give my video a thumbs up and let's get the word out. Share it with your friends, who are into crypto and everything. It's real simple. I mean, if you want to earn, not financial advice, but you don't have to subscribe to anything, any service or anything. You just dollar cost average Bitcoin every day. You get a moving average price of it, and then you purchase the blockchain ETFs. Now, I maintain a 7-to-1 ratio as such, and it just, you get free Bitcoin. So it's wonderful process, and you don't have to follow any other service or anything. You just dollar cost average Bitcoin. You can do it yourself on the tier 1 exchanges and self-custody it. So that's what we have. Today's Thursday, November 21, 2024. So it's exciting times to see the blockchain, the ETFs, and the news that's transpiring. Let's take a look at the geopolitical news stories, the top stories. CNN, International Criminal Court issues an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So is he going to be taken into custody? When is Benjamin Netanyahu's arraignment? The ICC has issued a warrant for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and senior Hamas officials, accusing them of war crimes during and after the October 7th ATTACKSs. Wow. So this is unreal. So I don't know when their arraignment is going to be. Apparently it's in the Netherlands. So I guess it would have to be extradited. I don't know. Newsweek, it says here, Russia fires first intercontinental ballistic missiles at Ukraine in Kiev. So there's a lot of news going on with World War III. So we got, I think Trump's, USA Today is reporting, Trump's educational secretary nominee once said she had an educational degree, etc. So that's being dispelled, I guess. Also, too, the CBS News is reporting how the U.S. military may be used for Trump's mass deportation plan. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to start the largest deportation effort in American history for his signature 2024 campaign promise, as soon as he takes office, that he would enlist the help of U.S. military for a massive operation to deport undocumented immigrants here in the good old U.S. of A. Wow. If you're an undocumented immigrant here in the U.S., you can always report to the local INS office or ICE office, or, report to the Chrome Detention Center. They give free, you get a lot of free things there. So, think about that. So that's what's being reported on the geopolitical news. Wow. Okay, so now let's see what's being reported on bar chart. Bar chart is reporting, okay, stock futures are up, crude oil's up, above 70. NVIDIA's pumping, MicroStrategy, I own stock in MicroStrategy, it's doing great. Gold bullion's up 20 points. The VIX is off about 7%. We got the trend. New stocks rise before the open with U.S. economic data in focus. NVIDIA slips on disappointing forecast. U.S. applications for jobless benefits fall, remaining near 7-month low. Bitcoin is at the doorstep of 100,000 as post-election rally rolls on. It says here, Wall Street points towards gains. NVIDIA shares fall despite another big beat. Palo Alto Network, talking about it, Apple Computer, NVIDIA stock, Snowflake had big earnings. But let's look at major market overview, all right? S&P 500 E-minis up 33 points. The NASDAQ 100 E-mini up 133 points. Dow futures up 195. The VIX off. The Dixie 106.595. The 10-year. Watch interest rates 109-215. Crude oils clears, parses $70 per barrel, is at 70.25, up $1.50. Nat gas breaks out above $3. Gold bullion at 26.70, up 19 points. Silver's doing great, greater than $31 per ounce. The leaders in the stock market, MicroStrategy. I own stock shares in most of these companies. MicroStrategy, NVIDIA, Tesla's active, Coinbase is active, PDD Holdings is active again. Snowflake, had a lot of news on Snowflake. The Home Depot, Mara Holdings, stock symbol MARA. Wow, Super Microcomputer, got a new auditor. So this is what's being reported on bar chart. Now let's take a look real quick at Yahoo Finance. NVIDIA reverses losses after earnings amid full steam demand. NVIDIA shares recovered pre-market losses as investors debated the future of the AI, or artificial intelligence boom, NVDA. Stock futures rise as investors weigh NVIDIA signals. Again, U.S. Weekly job claims unexpectedly fall. Bank of America stock is off about 1%. News on Fannie Mae. Trump could finally end one of Wall Street's oldest financial fights. Fannie Mae, FMCC, Exxon to invest $200 million in recycling amid pollution trial. Bitcoin again closes in on 100,000 amid Trump crypto hopes. MicroStrategy again. Okay, BJ shares jump on 1 billion stock repurchase. Stock symbol BJ. Goldman leads bullish NVIDIA price target, overhauls post-earnings. Again, Snowflake is up like 30% on strong product sales. U.S. application for job benefits fall. Again, oil rises, signal further escalation of the Russia-Ukraine war. My goodness. There's a lot of exciting news here. Man. Hedge fund, Two Sigma cuts 200 staff after strategic review. And it says digital bank leads profitability gain among Brazilian lenders, says central bank. So the digital banks like New Bank Holdings, look at these gainers. Williams Sonova was active. Target, there's news on Target or Target, NVIDIA, Mara Holdings, Super Microcomputer. A lot of news, So let's take a look at my trading plan. All right. So I sold this morning. So let's go over this. My Bitcoin, I had limit GTC orders in effect, and I sold Bitcoin on the Tier 1 exchange and took a nice profit out of it at the pivot points. Got all of the trade on Bitcoin. So I sold some Bitcoin this morning at limit sell at 97,765, and then that was at R3, and then I sold another tranche of Bitcoin at R2 at 95,878. So I'm scaling out of the trade, taking profits on it, and then so I'm squaring off profits, and then I also sold some Bitcoin at yesterday. All right, at 92,961. That was actually on the 18th. So as it's pivoting up, I scale out of the trade, and then if I get the price retracement, then I'm able to purchase at the demand zones, or S1, S2, and S3. So it's like whenever I had the patience to let a market come to me, so it's like 1, 2, 3 on the pivot points, and then that happens, and then I'm like, okay. Then I purchased the market, the Bitcoin market, at the pivot points. So it's a famous quote from Jesse Livermore. Again, whenever I had the patience to wait for the pivot points, I always made money in my operations. So I sold some blockchain ETF, real nice profit in it today. and might actually sell another tranche of it. It's the breakout trade though. All these great stocks inside of the Riot platforms is up big. Let's take a look at Coinbase is pumping. And let's look at NVIDIA now post earnings. NVIDIA, NVDA. And NVIDIA is up this morning, pre-market as much as 2% to 148.95. Very actively traded. They're in Santa Clara, California. S&P 500. So my trading plan for today is I squared off huge profits in Bitcoin again. I'll dollar cost average Bitcoin again today. So every day I DCA it. I'll dollar cost average SPY ETF. You know, was profitable. Now it's rolling, you know, not profitable. I had squared off about 90% of my position in the S&P 500 about 5 trading sessions ago. So time for a coffee break. So, you know, I'm waiting for the breakout on the S&P 500 greater than 600 for SPY ETF. So I won't chase it until it does the breakout. So I had a winning position in SPY ETF about 3%, and then it rolled over to only being up about 0.5%. So I flattened out about 90%. A lot of the stock market, you know, it's gone up huge. So I thought, well, I'll take the capital and then I can reallocate that into like Bitcoin and chase it. So again, today, SPY ETF, I'll dollar cost average it, building a new price structure on it. I sold BTCUSD for a profit and block. I mean, they both, BTCUSD, when it was pumped, was up 5%. I sold some profit out of it, squared off profit, and then I'll continue to dollar cost average it every week. So that's my trading plan for today. Let's look at some of these stocks. I've run a little longer. And let's see what we have. Coinbase. How's Coinbase doing? Coinbase stock is up nicely. Okay, this morning in pre-market it was up, 4.5%. Now it's pivoting off, to about 310 per share. Coinbase, Core Scientific, stock symbol CORZ, I think it is, up as much this morning in pre-market, about 4%. Core Scientific doing great. Mara Holdings, very active stock, pumping. It's up this morning, pre-market, up about 14%. Mara Holdings, a digital asset company in the mining of cryptocurrencies. They're in Fort Lauderdale. So these let's see, Riot Platforms. Riot Platforms was up nicely this morning, pre-market, up about 7%. They're in Castle Rock, Colorado. So these are companies that I own stock shares in. HUT8, HUT like NFL football. HUT8 was up this morning right at the open, about 7%. HUT8 is doing great. They're Bitcoin miner. So rather than actually purchasing the mining rigs and running such, I use corporatism in a sense where I purchase the stock shares that are held, the BTCUSD, the blockchain funds. They own stock shares in all the great companies of the world's leading experts in mining. So rather than purchasing the physical mining rig, I just purchased the blockchain ETFs. Block, BLOK, the Amplified Transformational Data Sharing ETF, up nicely. I'll dollar cost average it every Monday. Incredible companies. They own MicroStrategy shares, Visa, IBM Watson, just a lot of great stocks that are all PayPal, companies that are involved in the blockchain space with digital assets, Nubank Holdings, and then BKKT. How's that doing? That was a backed corporation. They announced a merger, I think, with DJT. Their stock's been active. I own shares in it through an ETF. So this is news stories. The stock market's open. Got a lot of things going on. Wars, rumors of wars. Matthew 24 playing out. So exciting times, no doubt. So with that, let's look at, Bitcoin, Again, incredible news. Bitcoin, new all-time high, I believe at like 98,400. For the year, Bitcoin is up 160%. And it broke out its all-time high. The previous breakout was about 74,000. And like I had said in previous videos, if Bitcoin trades greater than 73,797.68, it was going to pump. And so 74,000 to as high as the all-time high here at 98,000, that's a nice trade. So it shows, markets are never too high to buy, never too low to sell. So Bitcoin, that's where it's at. It's the one true cryptocurrency. S&P 500, the blockchain ETFs. So that's what I have, and then we look at the geopolitical news, and let's look at the stock shares this morning that are part of the S&P 500. Great stocks like Apple Computer, Apple's active, they're involved in, artificial intelligence and data centers and data mining. NVIDIA has been very active, like we said before, with their earnings. NVIDIA's up, man. NVIDIA's pumping this morning, up about 2%. Great trading stock that I own. Microsoft, Mr. Softy, very active. Microsoft shares this morning up about 1%. Very active shares. Microsoft, they're involved in artificial intelligence, obviously, and software. Amazon with their data centers. Amazon stock pre-market was up about 1.5%. Doing great. Let's see, Alphabet. We talked about Alphabet already. Tesla is incredible. The SpaceX launch, and then Tesla's up well today. It was off pre-market, and now it's breaking out to a new high here for the day. And the all-time high for the stock shares for Tesla is 358.64. So it's close. I own stock shares in Tesla. Riot Blockchain. Tesla's pumping. Berkshire Hathaway. I own stock in Berkshire Hathaway. They own Nubank. Berkshire Hathaway's up this morning pre-market. Who else? Alphabet C's doing great. Google, Broadcom. Man, Broadcom shares are up nicely. Netflix, with Disney. Let's see how's Target doing. Target company. Their stocks were off huge yesterday, I guess, right? Target's pumping this morning. There's 123 puts. There are 122 puts I had talked about. Let's look at the option montage. Talked about selling puts. They expire in one day. The 122 puts now, they're, doing real well. So that was a nice trade on selling the naked puts on one side of the trade, selling the puts, and then buying the puts on Target as it's now looked oversold. Intel, all the chip stocks, man, what other stocks? Got a lot of different shares now that are, let's look at bar chart here and take a look at the stocks that were trading pre-market, the biggest gainers and losers, just kind of get a percentage. Snowflake up 28%. Snow. Let's take a look at Snowflake. SNOW, Snowflake. My goodness. Up like 30%. Snowflake. Well, let's look at the option montage on Snowflake. Call options just out of the money are up, like the 167.50 calls up about 800%. So might be time to sell some calls on Snowflake. And then the puts, man, the puts tanked. They're just out of the money on Snowflake. The 165 strikes, they're off like 92%. Snowflake's pumping. Let's see what else. Let's see stocks. The pre-market trading. I kind of look at the pre-market and see what's moving. So NVIDIA is active. Wow, look at these stock shares. Okay. Oh man. 𝐔𝐘𝐒 Holdings, CTV, Innovation, Snowflake. Man. And the biggest losers, some stocks are not very active. This is this is where it's at. Look at these stock shares. So, man, pre-market active, NVIDIA's active pre-market, and then Mara Holdings that I own stock shares in, MicroStrategy. Let's look at MicroStrategy. And congratulations to Michael Saylor, did great work. MicroStrategy. Stock's up this morning, pre-market up about 15%. Is that a new high for MicroStrategy? Looks like it. MicroStrategy stock shares are only up 922% in the last year. I've gotten all of that. I've been a shareholder in MicroStrategy. So, man, 52-week high, 548.20. And I guess that might be a new high today, not sure. So 548. So perhaps, yeah, this morning it was perhaps a new high. MicroStrategy, so I own stock in that. Look at the options on MicroStrategy. My goodness. Look at this, the call options, the 515 call options are up 132%. So great work, MicroStrategy. I got to call out to special people who were influenced myself, for Bitcoin and digital assets. Raoul Pal's work is great. Paul Tudor Jones, Nova Grants, a lot of great people, talking about the cryptocurrency space and digital assets and Bitcoin and everything. So that's really what I have for today on my trading desk, everyone. Remember, have a great day. Always trade in the direction of the trend. Bitcoin breaking out to a new high. It's never too high to buy, never too low to sell. And so with that, everyone have a super awesome, great day. Trend, breakout in Bitcoin. So we're going to have the 100,000, hat on. I'll put it up here on my hat when we're going to be sponsoring a party, throwing a party online for the $100,000 print on Bitcoin. So get ready for that, and I'll do a special video for all my viewers with that. But Bitcoin's looking great. It's acting right, never too high to buy, 100% strong trend on the upside for Bitcoin. So with that, have an awesome, great day. Running about 27 minutes, but, got a lot more things to talk about as far as the cryptocurrency and blockchain assets and seeing, what's going on in the stock market and with the geopolitical events with the oil market. So let's see, oil, United States Oil Fund, just kind of look at USO here for a minute. It's up, oil market's been active. So peace in the Middle East, as they say. So everyone have an awesome, great day. It's John on my news desk and prop trading desk. Trend, the breakout. Thanks.